Hey guys, it's me Sameer and welcome back to my YouTube channel. A lot of people who start competitive programming don't really have a good practicing strategy. So they don't really become better at solving problems and it becomes frustrating for them, even leading them to quit in some cases. So having the right practicing strategy is very important. In this video, I'm going to tell you the practicing strategy you should follow to get better at CP. This strategy requires using Codeforces, ArtCoder, Competitive Programmer's Handbook, Sphere Online Judge, and this massive list of data structures and algorithms that I made that has links to tutorials and 4-5 problems. You will find links to all of these in the description. If you want to know more about these resources, check out my video How to Start Competitive Programming. It's especially helpful for you if you have just started CP. You should see it on the top right of your screen as a suggestion. So let's start. Hopefully by now you're familiar with the kind of problems that appear in a programming contest. The next step is actually taking part in the contest. You should take part in contests organized on Codeforces and ArtCoder. As a beginner, you should take part in Division 2, 3 or 4 or combined rounds on Codeforces and ArtCoder beginner contests. Now, the most important thing you should do when you start participating in contests is upsolving. So what's upsolving? Upsolving basically means that once the contest is over, you should solve the problems that you couldn't solve during the contest. Although you shouldn't try to solve all the problems that you couldn't solve during the contest, as some of them might be too hard for your current level. Let's see in detail how you should upsolve. So let's go to a contest, let's say 572. Ignore what problems I solved for now, but let's say I solved A, B and didn't solve C. You might have solved 0 or even 1, it doesn't matter, just pick the easiest problem that you didn't solve. So if I've solved A and B, I'll pick C. Let's open C. So you read the problem and you probably couldn't solve it during the contest, even if you read it or you're reading it for the first time right now, it doesn't matter. If you don't know the solution, go to this tutorial and read the tutorial and try to understand how to solve the problem. If you see a concept that you're not familiar with, let's say dynamic programming, then you should go to the Competitive Programmer's Handbook and see if it's already present there, or the list. So you can see dynamic programming is present there. So you'll have 2 to 3 tutorials, one from the book and some from the list that you can actually follow. Or you can even Google and let's say I found this great Topcoder tutorial for dynamic programming. And now I have 4 tutorials that I can follow. Pick the one that you seem to enjoy the most. Like if you like the book, just continue with it. After you learn the topic, solve some problems on it. The tutorial has some practice problems, so you can try them out. The list also has a lot of problems, so you can try them out as well. Just solve problems till you really understand the concept and build an intuition on it. If it can take you a decent amount of problems to do that, so don't worry if you don't really get it after just a single problem. And then come back to the contest problem. If you can solve it, great. Otherwise, see what you were missing. If it takes you a lot of time to upsolve one problem because you have to learn a new concept, don't worry. After some time, you won't have to learn a new concept on every problem that you upsolve. You should always upsolve at least one problem from a contest you took part in. Try to solve a second problem as well, which in my case is problem D. But if it looks too hard, you can skip it. So now we know that every time you take part in a contest, you will find at least one problem that will make you better, whether it makes you learn a new concept or helps in improving your problem solving skills. So the next part of strategy is to take part in as many contests as you can. A lot of people avoid taking part in contests because they're kind of scared of not performing well. And if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense. It's hard to get better at programming competitions if you don't take part in programming competitions. But a lot of beginners make this mistake of really participating in competitions because they're obsessed with their rating. They'll have 2-3 bad contests and they will think that they should stop participating and just go solve problems and learn every data structure on earth before actually taking part. I want to show you something. So here's my rating graph, and as you can see, my rating kept going down for like 6 contests before it started going up. And it kind of sucked because I was working very hard and my problem solving skills were improving, but my rating kept going down and it didn't make sense to me. But I kept participating in contests, even improved my frequency, and it started going up. So I just want to say that rating is just a number. Don't worry about it. As long as your problem solving skills are improving, it's awesome. Your rating will catch up in like no time. So this is the crux of our strategy. Upsolving rigorously in every contest you took part in and trying to maximize the number of contests you take part in. Sometimes there might not be enough contests for you to upsolve, or maybe you just need a change of pace temporarily. The important thing is to constantly think about problems. So you can also practice in other ways. I will tell you 3 alternate ways to practice. You can use any one of them or mix and match. So the first method of practice is topic based practice. You pick up a topic, which can be a data structure, an algorithm, or a concept, and you read more about it and learn more about it and solve problems on it. Or you could have already learned it, but you want to solve more problems on it. This kind of practice is good if you like to take a small break from contests and read more about data structures and algorithms. Or if you have a weak concept, let's say like dynamic programming, and you want to strengthen it and solve more problems on it. If you want to know which topic to pick, you can actually see the index of this competitive programmer's handbook, and it's sort of sorted in order for beginners, so you can pick one from it. And the caveat with this kind of practice is that during the actual contest, no one will tell you what data structure or algorithm you should use to solve a problem. You need to build that kind of thinking as well, and this kind of practice doesn't help with that. Although you still build that kind of thinking through taking part in contests and upsolving. The second method of practice is problem based practice. You go to a judge like Codeforce's problem set or Sphere Online Judge, sort by difficulty or by the number of users who have solved the problem, and then start solving problems in this order. If it's too easy, skip to the next page or the next rating, like in this case, let's say 900. Or if it becomes too hard, then go back. The caveat with this kind of practice is that it doesn't really mimic the contest environment and you don't really know when to look at the solution. And sometimes you'll be trying to solve problems that are either too hard or too easy, and it's not really efficient. The trick that I use to actually know when to look at the solution is that I'll give myself 15 minutes of time to kind of come up with a step in the right direction of solving the problem. So I think about the problem, and if I think I've taken a step that might help me find the solution, then I add 15 minutes of time. So if in the first 15 minutes I have one observation, then I'll take 30 minutes. And if in the next 15 minutes I find another observation, then I'll add 15 minutes and up to 1 hour. After 1 hour, I'll look at the solution. So these values are not like hard coded or anything. Just pick some value for yourself and do this. And it's not perfect, but it helps somewhat. The third method of practice is virtual contest based practice. You can run virtual contests on Codeforces and AdCoder. This kind of mimics an actual contest with rank lists and the time constraint, and the scenarios, the submissions happen same way as they did in the actual contest. And it's currently my favorite way to practice. You can take part in an actual virtual contest like this. You go to virtual participation and you click on it, and then you can just start the contest at whatever time you want. You will take part in a virtual contest and upsolve just as you would for a regular contest. The only caveat with this way of practice is that if you're a little bit bored of participating in regular contests, virtual contests are much less fun compared to the other two. If you want to decide between problem-based practice or virtual contest-based practice, what I did was I started with problem-based practice completely and sort of shifted gradually towards virtual contest-based practice. And right now, if I had to practice again, if I had the time to do it, I would do virtual contest-based practice completely. But it's completely fine if you stick to one. If you like that one, just stick to it. It's okay to not do the other one. So that's it for practicing strategy. To summarize, do upsolving rigorously for the contests you take part in. Try to maximize the number of contests you take part in. And if you want to take a small break from contests, or if you have some extra time, you can do the 3 methods of practice that I mentioned. If you follow this, I'm sure you will get better, and I think you can easily get to the level of candidate master on Codeforces by following this. I know some of you may have doubts or questions for me, so I'll be doing a Q&A in my next video. Comment your question on this video and upvote the ones that you want answered. Please see if someone has the same question as you before posting and upvote that instead, otherwise it will kind of divide the upvotes. I will answer some of the top questions in the next video. So subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button for notifications so that you get notified when I post that video.